Folks, my name is Jaden and this is video 4 of VIDmas. I keep wanting to put my hand on this leg. I can't because it has still got a healing tattoo on it. Anyway, my hair looks terrible, so it will not cooperate today. So we're going to ignore that. We're going to lean forwards with out of frame. That works, right? It doesn't. But today we are doing the end of year book tag because I've already run out of ideas and it's 4 days in. So yeah, that's what we're going to do because I cannot wait until this year is over. New year, new opportunities. Obviously not everything's going to be better next year necessarily, but you know, it'll feel newer. And that's what we all need right now, I think. So yeah, right now we're going to be doing the end of the year book tag. Let's have fun. Question number 1 is, what is a book that you started this year that you need to finish? I don't have any, because I am not the kind of person to start reading a book and like pick up multiple books at once and take like 3 months to finish one, because I'm just not feeling it. Like, if I'm starting a book, I'm finishing that book before I pick up a new one. So if that means that sometimes it takes me 3 months to finish one book without reading anything else, then that's what that means. Because yeah, I know that like that can work for some people, like reading multiple books. It does. I get confused. I get far too confused with that. So yeah, I don't have an answer for that question. We're off to a great start, aren't we? Number 2 is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? It is obviously already December now for me, so that's been and gone. But my transitional book was Horns by Joe Hill, which is downstairs, and I'm not gonna go get it. So here's a picture of the cover. There you go. If I could figure out how to put it here, I will. If not, you just saw it. Yeah. But yeah, Horns by Joe Hill. That was kind of my spooky October read that I didn't get to read in October because I was far too busy. So I ended up reading through most of November. It was really, really good. I loved it. I didn't get to read a lot of other like autumn. Actually, that book's set in summer, but it's like spooky and horror, so you know, it works. I would have, if I'd had time, read If We Were Villains, but that is on my December TBR now, so that's good. But yeah, that was my kind of autumn transitional read, I guess. Or I guess you could also say Alice in Wonderland, because that's what I'm going to be reading next. So I guess that's kind of also my transition into the end of the year. So my transitioning into the festive season read is Alice in Wonderland. Number 3. Is there a new release that you are still waiting for? The answer is no, technically. I'm not really big on ordering new releases as they come out, because I'm really out of the loop all the time. I never know when things are happening. And also, with like storage space and money wise, I much prefer paperback to hardcover. So I tend to wait until books come out in paperback before I get them. I'm one of those people. But there is a book that came out this year that I so wish I jumped on when it first came out, because I really, really want to read it now. Well, 2 of them. One is A Strangely Beautiful Endeavour. Give me a second. Beautifully Foolish Endeavour by Hank Green. Forgot what it was called. How dare I? The sequel to An Absolutely Remarkable Thing, which I read this year, and literally I finished that book the week that the sequel came out. And I want to read it so badly, because An Absolutely Remarkable Thing blew my mind. But the problem is that now, because I own An Absolutely Remarkable Thing in paperback, I have to get A Beautifully Foolish Endeavour in paperback, or it's going to drive me insane. So or I could just buy the hardcover of An Absolutely Remarkable Thing. But yeah, so that's one that came out this year that I still haven't read and need to. And then also, If You Know Me, it happens to be right next to me, so if you know me, if you've watched any of the other, you've watched my December TBR, you know I love this book. And this podcast, more than life itself. And Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Craner did it again this year, and back in May, I think, either March or May, I forget, they released The Faceless Old Woman Who Secretly Lives in Your Home. And I need it. I need it so badly. So yeah, those are the two. Like, The Faceless Old Woman Who Secretly Lives in Your Home is my favourite character. She is a queen. She is my favourite character in Night Vale. And I need a book about her life story. I need to know. So yeah, those are the two. Those are the two releases that came out this year that I've not read yet. And I'm probably not going to get to this year. But I have to read, hopefully next year. Hopefully I will be able to read those next year. But yeah, A Beautifully Foolish Endeavour by Hank Green, and The Faceless Old Woman Who Secretly Lives in Your Home. Such a long title. Oh, The Faceless Old Woman, I think it's just called. But yeah, then The Faceless Old Woman by Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Craner. 4. What are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? Again, I covered this in my December TBR, but I'm gonna go over it again. It Devours by Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Craner. Cannot wait to read it. I have owned it for like 2 years and just haven't got around to it yet, so I'm forcing myself to read it this year. I need to. If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio, because I was going to read it in October, didn't manage to, going to read it this year. I swear to God, I have to. Because again, I've owned it. I bought it in January. I bought it in January. I've still not got around to it. If I don't read it this year, I'm going to be mad at myself. And The Christmasaurus by Tom Fletcher. It's a children's book. But it's just so sweet and so Christmassy, and I love it. And I read it every single year. It's great. So yeah. Those are 3 of the 5 books that I need to read in order to finish my reading challenge for the year. Question 5. Is there a book that you think could still shock you and become your favourite of the year? I certainly hope so. Because so far my favourite book I've read this year is An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. But I am sincerely hoping that It Devours becomes my favourite book of the year. If it doesn't, it'll be more of a shock to me if it doesn't become my favourite, because of how much I appreciate like the writing style. Like, this one is one of my favourite books of all time. So it'll be more of a shock to me if It Devours does not become my favourite book of the year. But I am also quite hoping that If We Were Villains could become my favourite book of the year as well, because If We Were Villains has the vibes that I'm trying to achieve with my own novel, so I'm hoping that is something. I'm hoping that helps. But yeah, the book that I'm hoping becomes my favourite book of the year after I read it is It Devours. Finally. And finally, have you already started making reading plans for 2021? The answer is no. I am kind of a big mood reader, especially because I don't know if I'm going to get books for Christmas, I don't know if I'm going to get money, like gift cards that I can buy books with for Christmas. So I always kind of keep that in there. Like, I'm kind of a mood reader. Like, it depends. I don't really. And also, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that libraries officially open again soon, because my local library has not been open for a very long time, like this entire year. So if libraries open again, that will drastically change my reading plans. So the answer is no, I haven't started making reading plans for this year yet, but I will the second I know. Like, I usually do make reading plans for the month, not the whole year. I have a couple ideas for things I want to read next year, but that's a because they might change. And that is it. That's all the questions. So this was fun. I like these book tags. I should do more of these. I think I really should. So if you have any ideas for book tags I should do, comment them, please, because that would be great. I really like doing these book tags and answering questions and stuff, so I should do more of these. But yeah, so that was the end of this video. Bye!